Hey everybody, I'm Griffin, and this is Theta, and this is a death battle. No, that's not our intro. Welcome to Stone-Faced Reactions, where we watch videos and then don't react to them whatsoever. Hey everybody, I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here for another Stone-Faced Reaction. We're spinning the wheel, and we're gonna watch something fun today. Let's see what we get. And it is going to be Madara versus Aizen.
I think I may have
Oh, we
still.
were
Did I add an A in there? Is it Madra?
Madara, Madara.
Did I add an A in there? I thought it was Madra. I thought his name was Madra. Anyway, whatever. It's ironic given what we just said a minute ago.
Well, guess what? We're watching it just after we started commenting on it, and I believe I get the first pick because I lost terribly.
And that's why I'm glad that we didn't have that discussion that you wanted to have a second ago.
And I gotta say, knowing only the basics about Bleach here, all right? I know that they go to the spirit world, they summon big swords based off their soul energy, and then they fight ghosts using it or something. That's the basics of it, right?
No, I mean sort of. I mean
Sort
they still
of.
fight in the real world too. They don't do
They
any.
do.
Most of the fighting, in fact, happens in the real world.
Right. They do have a comparative energy source here between chakra and whatever energy they describe in that show, which is all basically inner power too, right? Uh, I don't think Bleach does like as crazy as Naruto does with like random ass techniques, but they probably put energy into stuff occasionally. So I think these two things are probably comparable properties in some way. But I have no idea what the top tier of Bleach looks like necessarily. Uh, and I understand Naruto enough to know that Madara is probably not going to be an easy fight. So I'll go ahead and pick Madara, and you get Aizen.
I guess I've just been pronouncing his name wrong the whole time. I always thought it was Madra.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, sometimes just simple mistakes like that just compound over time, you know?
Mm.
So, what have you got for Aizen?
No,
Tell
you picked
me.
first. You have to defend yourself.
All right, I gotta remember precisely who Madara was here. Oh man, actually, you know what? I don't think I actually saw that. Saw him in Naruto. I've only heard speculation after watching everyone else before him go. All I know is that he's the big bad guy, and eventually, I think he blows up the moon.
I mean, I use him
And
in
that's what
like
I'm basing
theme
this off
song
of.
stuff all the time. If Invincible theme song that I've linked 100 times, where it's
Hmm.
him versus the entire United Shinobi Army.
Yeah, there you go. That's. I think that's probably my primary material. You posting AMVs of this character, and that's
Indestructible.
probably why I
Sorry,
think he.
that's the song. It was Indestructible.
And every character you base off them to be indestructible. If I have to base every character you've built to try to become this character, I've got to say this character is going to be impossible to beat.
Well, I mean, my defense to that is Aizen isn't a character I would build or be able to build in any game. So
That fair. So,
Aizen has like transforming abilities where he keeps getting stronger and stronger.
mhm.
To the point, I mean, he takes out just about everybody. At the same time, though, that's not his primary ability. His primary ability is just to make you see whatever he wants you to see.
Right, the Genjutsu stuff, which gets featured a whole lot.
Sort of. Basically, if he's ever unleashed his sword around you, he can permanently, for the rest of your life, determine what you see. So that
Hmm.
literally the only people that can beat him are the people who've never seen him unleash his sword. And the thing is, if he unleashed his sword, he could also erase your memory or I think it make you see something other than him unleashing his sword. So you can never be sure if you've ever seen him unleash his sword either. So basically, you're always, for your entire life, if you want to use the word genjutsu on this, you're permanently, for all your life, unable to know if you're in his genjutsu or not.
Right, it's a constant double blind here. Did you ever start the fight, and did the fight ever finish? You just don't know. So that seems crazy and absolutely impossible to fight against. But what's Aizen got?
No, that is what Aizen has. That's what I'm talking
Oh, that
about.
is what Aizen has. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about Madara the whole time.
No, that's what that's Madara's isn't based on a sword. That's why I don't understand why he thought it was
Okay.
Madara. Aizen falls into the Bleach thing. If they have a sword, it has a release state, a
mhm,
Shikai state, and a Bankai. And again, Aizen was like a good guy through the beginning of the show because nobody understood what his power was, and that they were all basically under his command from the very beginning. Well, not under his command.
mhm.
He had manipulating them because the fact of the matter is, if you can't tell left from right, up from down, because he is twisting the world that you perceive, then you're fucked from the start.
Yeah. So I think it's up to us to see how Madara can actually possibly fight something like that, which is so completely overwhelming and defines the entirety of this fight, no matter what else Madara pulls out. But he is invincible. Play the theme. We're not playing the theme. That's probably copyright. Let's go ahead and watch.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Raycon.
Raycons give you absolutely amazing audio quality no matter where you go or what you do, whether you're getting pumped up, winding down, working, or working out.
And they're
Raycon, for when you need people to know that you have headphones in.
Yourself, they started half the price of other premium audio brands.
Oh, that's right. I forgot this those were. I thought Raycons were sunglasses for a second.
That might be Ray Bon. I am digging this
it.
jam though.
On some Raycons when I'm out squirrel hunting with my dune buggy.
What is wrong with you? Click the link in the description box or go to buyraycon.com.
I could put that background music on something.
Holiday to get 15%
Yeah, like an
off
ad.
site-wide.
Like an ad.
Madara Uchiha, the legendary messianic shinobi from Naruto.
Sosuke Aizen, the Soul Reaper who stood upon the heavens from Bleach.
We may dream of glory, but these two have the will to power to take it by force and claim a seat among the gods.
They're the biggest, baddest anime bosses around.
Oh, that's right. There's a whole Shonen Jump fighting game they could use models from.
He's
Yep.
Boomstick. And it's our job.
I keep forgetting every now and then.
Skills to find out who would win.
Where you could have Yugimoto fight Dio.
Endless destruction, countless dead, a plot to conquer the planet. The ninja world was at war.
For the fourth time, only one man could save humanity from itself, from beyond the grave.
The same man who orchestrated this war in the first place in order to end all wars forever. Madara Uchiha.
From birth, war was the only thing the young Madara knew, and there was no ninja he liked fighting more than Hashirama Senju. They're basically ninja Romeo and Juliet.
Belonging to opposing clans, Madara
Two clans
and Hashirama
alike
were
in
forced to battle
dignity.
each other for years, all the while dreaming of a better future.
Their bromance eventually overcame their clan's differences and the two groups merged, creating the village of Konoha.
But Madara wasn't satisfied with Hashirama's dream of peace through cooperation. He desired an immortal peace through total domination.
Everyone else thought that was crazy, so he bounced, and then he came back to wage war against the village he helped build. Well, that didn't last long, huh?
Madara's megalomania
You know, the
was
whole
perhaps
Uchiha clan
fitting,
seems to have this
considering he is,
bent
in
of just
fact, the
deciding to be
reincarnation of the
completely
demigod
overwhelmingly
Indra
evil at
Uchiha,
times.
and the inheritor of his immensely powerful chakra.
I mean, for good
Basically,
reason.
physical and spiritual energy that makes ninja magic.
It still
Madara
seems to be something they very
specializes in fire and wood-style
frequently
jutsu,
enjoy
which
doing.
Just seems irresponsible to put those
I don't know
together.
that they enjoy
like
doing
a
it either.
gender reveal party waiting to happen.
His wood is especially impressive, considering it's the only style of elemental jutsu that can create life. Why are you looking at me like that?
Madara can even use his Gunbai to absorb ninjutsu and return it right back to sender. You know you're a badass when you can take on armies with just a friggin' fan.
Madara has torn apart hordes of ninja without breaking a sweat,
That's the scene I
taken a
keep
beating from
referencing to.
every tailed beast at once, and even defeated the 5 Kage, some of the strongest shinobi in the world.
The Raikages even stated to be fast enough to move at light speed. And even weaker ninja like Orochimaru have dodged literal photon beams.
But
I gotta
Madara's
see the
latest
episode
tool is
where
the
he
one
dodges
born
a
from
laser
his very
beam.
bloodline, the eternal Mangekyo Sharingan.
Anyone
These
down in the
magical
chat,
eyes
please go ahead and
massively
post the
enhance
link
perception
so I'll
down to
see
the
it
cellular
eventually.
Well, I
level,
mean, I think
allowing
the
him to
Earth,
predict
the Earth
movements, see
Kage
the flow
does
of chakra,
laser
and
beams and
summon the
whatnot.
mighty perfect Susanoo.
Okay.
The Sharingan can also
Why does
cast
Earth
against
have
jutsu
laser
that'll trap
beams?
anyone that looks at it in an
Probably
illusion,
'cause
and
prisms
even
and
break them
crystals
out of
and
those
all that
same
shit.
illusions.
In Sasuke's
That's
case,
some
even
bullshit.
one as strong as Itachi Tsukuyomi,
So it's
which
focusing
can warp
light
your
through
perception
refracted
of time.
surfaces.
Itachi used it on a fellow Uchiha and made her live out her entire life in the span of 1/100th of 1/1000th of 1/1 millionth of a second.
And when she died in the illusion, she died for real. If Sasuke could break out of it, Madara could too, easily.
And after grafting some of Hashirama's cells onto himself, he
Would always have a piece of his Romeo inside him. This is my ship, Liz. Stop looking at me like that.
He not only gained a healing factor strong enough to regenerate from having half his body vaporized, but also the terrifying Rinnegan.
AKA the big chungus of all eye magic. The ringy eyes let Madara absorb chakra and ninjutsu, create invisible limbo.
I mean, what I'm getting
balloons,
here is
see and
that
remove
they're
your
trying
soul
to
from your
completely
body
negate
and summon
Aizen's
giant-ass
advantage in the
meteors,
next fight.
As if he needed any more fucking
Right,
power.
right. They're
While
setting up that
Rinnegan
he can
lacks
escape
some of the
it.
Sharingan's unique abilities,
Which
he can
is,
switch
if
between
that's
them at
Aizen's
will.
primary and only thing, that's a very quick
No, it's not
fight.
his only thing.
It-
He
it
has,
shouldn't be.
he has
It's shown.
evolutionary form, so no.
And thus the life of a legendary shinobi came to an end in the arms of his one true love. Or did it?
All right,
Oh,
this is gonna get pretty
Naruto.
Crazy, but just bear with me.
Oh,
Fearing defeat in
Naruto.
battle, Madara set a time-delayed jutsu that would posthumously rewrite reality and bring him back to life. And it worked! So Madara tricked another Uchiha, Obito, into witnessing his best friend murdering his other best friend. Then he tasked Obito with manipulating the world into another war. Meanwhile, he gave his own Rinnegan to Nagato with the goal of getting it back after he was brought back to life the second time with the outer path because he died again. Make sense?
Nah, that'll never work.
You know,
You're
this
right,
is why
it didn't.
canon
So Obito went out and
resurrection
got
in
the Rinnegan back
stories
from Nagato's corpse 'cause he
is
died.
not
So
a good
Kabuto brought
narrative
Madara back to
tool
life
to
and
have
got his
around.
eyes back from Obito after some backstabbing. Then he sealed the awakened Ten Tails within himself in order to gain ultimate power and create the world's greatest nap time ever.
Look what you people have done to him. You'd think Ten Tails' power would be awesome, but those stinky 8 balls of doom are so lame.
Don't let their size fool you. These truth-seeking orbs are in another league. The Ten Tails is strong enough to wipe continents off the map, and the orbs can be shaped into weapons that will completely disintegrate anything they come into contact with. Not even ninja resurrected through Edo Tensei like Minato could regenerate limbs lost to the truth-seeking orbs, which means they had to erase his literal spirit itself.
Madara's power was so insane he was considered
Your weapons
comparable to the
casually
original
destroy
Sage
people's
of
souls.
Six Paths,
This is,
the dude who helped create the friggin' moon.
And when Madara created meteors, they were large enough to show up against the curvature of the Earth. Measuring their size and estimating the height at which Madara lifted them, they'd have to possess a potential energy of at least 372 petatons of TNT.
He was even
The-
fast enough to keep up with 8 gates.
The scale of Naruto
who
by
kicked
the end
hard
is
enough to
absolutely
bend
bonkers.
space. Madara even has an
That's a-
attack where he hawks light speed loogies.
Considering even base Madara has displayed speeds on
I mean, in
par
fairness,
with Light Timing Ninja,
something I
we
didn't
know
consider at the
Ten
start of
Tails
this
Madara would
episode
have
is
to
that
be
we've already
significantly
done
faster thanks
Naruto
to the Ten Tails'
versus
power.
Ichigo.
With virtually no one left to
And Naruto
oppose
won.
him, Madara's plot was finally in the endgame. He awakened the Rin Sharingan, and
That's
with
a
the God
good
Tree summon,
point.
he cast the infinite Tsukuyomi, spreading the tree's roots across the entire planet and capturing every
I believe the
single
winning
person in
move
the
was the
world.
move that he
This
used
would
against
enslave all
this
of
guy,
humanity in
so-
an endless dream world, free of conflict forever. Peace through total domination.
Manipulating this tree with his chakra would have involved physically spreading its roots
Global
through and around
feat.
the entire Earth in mere moments. Estimating the tree's mass and the speed at which the roots were moved, his chakra must have released an energy exceeding 1 yotaton of TNT.
And this was with just one jutsu. Is there a character that could possibly even touch Madara Uchiha?
Kishimoto himself didn't even know. Madara's power was so overwhelming, the only thing that could take him down was treachery.
Even the man with the magic eyes couldn't see that coming.
All that was left was his old friend Hashirama, there to comfort him in his final moments.
Just like Romeo and Juliet. Or never was there a story of more woe than this of Hashirama and his Madabro. I read it in iambic pentameter.
Is there a gas leak in here?
Now the real fun begins.
The Soul Society.
Let's see how
was in
crazy
chaos.
Bleach gets.
One of its leading Shinigami was set to be executed under suspicious circumstances. A band of humans from the living world had invaded to save her, and Sosuke Aizen, captain of the 5th Division of the Gotei 13, was dead. Murdered.
What dastardly mastermind could have been behind all this? He'd have to be a galaxy-brained 5D chess master.
The man responsible was, in fact, Sosuke Aizen.
Little is known about the man's past, only that he isn't a man, a human man, but a soul reaper.
These Shinigami are spiritual
With all the
beings who
5D
carry
chess
lost souls to the
references they're throwing
afterlife
down
and
here,
purify
I
those
need
who
to be
turn
completely
evil in the
confused
living
by
world.
this fight by the
Their
end of
badass
it.
anime wizard Grim Reaper
Well, I
swordsman.
mean, Madara
No, Aizen himself
had to
was
die
hardly
3
that
times
cool.
during his.
I mean, just
Aizen
look at
didn't
those
die once
glasses,
during his.
dork.
But this Clark Kent was harboring a secret. Aizen had spent years attempting to develop the means to ultimate power, ruining the lives of many of his colleagues via his twisted experiments.
Oh, so when Aizen does it, he's a supervillain, but when you do it to me, it's shut the hell up, Boomstick. You're under NDA, and I know about the stuff you've done.
As a Shinigami, Aizen's body is made of Reishi, being spirit matter, and empowered by Raryoku, being spirit energy. Entities made of Reishi are completely invisible to anyone without specific supernatural awareness, though a Shinigami's body is still tangible and can be damaged normally.
And with his Raryoku energy, Aizen can create incredibly powerful blasts. He's so strong, weaker beings will literally disintegrate if they get too close to him.
This is due to his Reiatsu, a localized spiritual pressure exerted as a result of his enormous power.
He also knows tons of Keto, or spells. He can
So they do
reinforce
have
fields,
tons of
bend the light
techniques.
around
There
him
we
to
go.
Make him impossible to detect, fire concentrated bolts of lightning, and absorb the energy from his surroundings to make giant.
But you know stuff is bad where when you just walk past normal people, they disintegrate.
After an extensive incantation, Aizen surrounds his target in an enormous black coffin that distorts space and time and tears its victims apart.
Aizen's plotting finally came to fruition during the invasion of the Soul Society, where he faked his death using his greatest weapon, his Zanpakuto, Kyoka Suigetsu.
A Shinigami Zanpakuto is a magical sword that possesses a sentient spirit. Kyoka Suigetsu gives Aizen complete control over his victim's senses the instant they lay eyes on the sword. This complete hypnosis traps its victims in a nearly perfect illusion that Aizen can manipulate at will, making himself virtually immune to attacks while his opponents are sitting ducks.
It's so strong that it kept a group of ex-Soul Reapers known as the Visored trapped for over 100 years without them even knowing it. It's one of the most broken powers ever, and the definition of anime
I love how they
bullshit.
just have to be
But it
genuine
was all
about
worth
that.
it
Like,
when he
there's no
perfected his
scaling it. It's
ultimate
just
creation,
bullshit.
The Hogyoku, an immensely powerful reality warping device that, quote, materializes the user's wishes.
In Aizen's case, it realized his desire to become the strongest being in the universe. With it, he can heal any of his wounds, even when half his body is vaporized. And more importantly, it exponentially increases his power over time through evolution by turning him into a horrifying butterfly monster man.
A being eventually strong enough to dethrone and replace the Soul King, the deity that controls the cosmic balance. Even a minor disruption to the Soul King's influence led to the three worlds of Earth, the Soul Society, and Hueco Mundo to start physically collapsing.
Gigamundo's like hell.
And it implied that the Soul
Yeah.
King has to be outputting enough energy to hold all these places together at all times.
Considering each should be roughly the same size, this would require an energy of over
This seems more like a
zetatons of
spiritual matter
TNT.
than one
Aizen is
about
powerful
the
enough to
energy,
vaporize
right?
mountains as a side effect of a sword
Certain
swing.
ways to make it
His
medical matter.
casual energy blasts can disintegrate huge chunks of the earth, and he can take on armies with just his Ryatsu alone.
He even defeated the rest of the Gote 13 without so much as breaking a sweat.
So he should be way stronger than Soul Society heavy hitters like Kenpachi, who sliced this 120-kilometer wide asteroid to pieces.
That's roughly the width of Great Britain. An
I think I
asteroid
can
of
agree
this
with
size
cutting
would have
Great
to carry
Britain
a
in
kinetic
half, don't
energy
you?
Of at least 44 petatons of TNT.
And Aizen was so badass, he literally transcended other Shinigami in power. He was in a whole other dimension from the rest of them.
Until he fought Ichigo Kurosaki.
The battle we've all been waiting for. Way before this in the Soul Society arc, Ichigo was already as fast as lightning. And by this point, after all his power boosts, he'd even be faster than light. Hell, even weaker characters like this lady can dodge light beams.
Though their fight was epic, Ichigo had transcended the Shinigami as well, and even Aizen himself. Feeding upon his insecurities, the Hogyoku abandoned Aizen, who was quickly defeated and imprisoned within the bottommost level of the Soul Society's prison. Aizen was left alone. His great power he sacrificed so much to achieve was gone forever.
It's
Or
all
was
been an
it?
illusion.
Somehow, he ended up getting even stronger than before. But what made him so strong? Could it be the chair?
It's not the chair. It could theoretically be due to the chair's restraints keeping his
Was it the
Ryatsu from properly
chair?
releasing, building it up within him until he was stronger in base than he was at his previous max.
Nah, it's definitely the chair. And
Every
since
villain
the
needs a good
could
power
still
chair.
Hold him after he got stronger. Wouldn't that make it even stronger than him? Even stronger than the Soul King? All hail the mighty Chair-sama, most powerful being in all of Bleach. He even managed to hold his own against the Quincy warlord Yua, who absorbed the power of the Soul King himself. He even used Kyoka Suigetsu to trick him, and Yuha's a dude who can literally see every possible future all at the same time. All according to Keikaku, bitches!
And after standing among the gods themselves, Aizen returned to captivity and pondered the meaning of his existence.
Even trapped in a prison, sealed off in a different dimension with a 20,000-year sentence, he remains the most dangerous being in the world.
Who knows what schemes are brewing behind those cold, calculating eyes? No compassion, no empathy, only the drive for power.
No one has ever stood at the top. Neither you nor me. From now on, I alone will stand at the top.
Well, this is going to be absolutely bonkers.
All right, the combatants are set.
I
Run
mean,
the data through all
If the
possibilities.
guy who can see all the
But first,
futures
if you
that ever
want the
existed
confidence of an
can
anime
get tricked by the
supervillain,
complete
check out
hypnosis
Blue
blade, maybe Madara could
This
too.
episode is brought to you by Blue Chew.
There's going to be no figuring out who actually wins this, I
And
think.
that's why Blue Chew delivers the same
No,
active ingredients
I mean, we
as
can,
Viagra
'cause
and
we're
Cialis in
neutral
chewable tablet
observers.
form, right to your body.
Yep, and
But we're the
this
people
you
meant
get
to be fooled by all of their shenanigans.
Right, but at the end of the day,
Ready to
somebody
go?
wrote a
It's
script.
simple. Just sign up at BlueChew.com
Okay, to be fair,
consult with
true.
one of their licensed
There
medical
is technically a
providers,
script,
and
but that
once
script
approved,
could
you'll
definitely
receive
say,
your
we
prescription
don't
within
know.
days.
Plus, it's all done online,
In which case,
means
Chuck
no more
Norris and
awkward
Sega Sato
conversations
better
with your
just
doctor
jump out of
or
that
waiting in line
wormhole
at
and
the
start
pharmacy.
fighting again.
And you can take Blue Chew anytime, day
You know,
or
that'd be
night,
funny if they
even
just brought them
ahead
back for
or
this
better
fight.
than ever.
So if you could benefit from extra confidence when it's time to perform,
Honestly, it would be funny if they
Blue
just
Chew
brought
can
them
help.
back for any fight. Like the lowest stake possible fight, and then just, yeah, Chuck Norris and Sega Sagata, they're back.
Pay $5 shipping.
That's BlueChew.com, promo code BATTLE to receive your first month free.
Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. Thanks, Blue Chew, for sponsoring the show.
But right now, it's time for a death battle!
I just have no idea what to expect now.
Well, you expect Madara to win, and I expect Aizen to win.
You can see me.
I can see everything.
Did you see that?
And now all of this is not real, it's all been an illusion.
Conceivably, he clearly saw the blade get drawn.
Drown in despair!
And Naruto tends to do a specific thing whenever a genjutsu is being used.
True, true.
I would expect nothing more from a human.
About to say, that was going to be a real short fight there.
Mere parlor tricks. Don't get so full of yourself.
Hey, we already got our escalation. Casually destroy Earth during fights.
I mean, they can both regenerate from half, so.
Hado 19, Kuro Hitsugi.
Oh, the confidence in your own defense techniques is just stand there and watch the other person.
Yeah, just like, nah, this won't hurt me.
Thing is, Bleach has a guy who literally does the same thing. It's bigger, more powerful, and it didn't matter.
Right. already just preposterously off of scale. They still haven't destroyed the Earth.
The pounding of my heart, the taste of my own blood. I love it!
They're just two guys having fun, you know?
You almost had me there, you tricky bastard.
Nothing escapes my illusions, human. Know your place.
What a wonderful dance.
Positively ridiculous. What even happened?
Hey-o! Of course Madara won! He fake died twice for his 5D chess plan, while Aizen only fake died once.
Aizen and Madara were extremely evenly
Madara
matched
actually
in
died,
raw
though. He
power
didn't
and
fake
speed.
die. He literally
By our
died.
calculations, Madara spreading the God Tree's roots with his chakra was about 7 times more powerful than the best that Aizen could scale to with his rare Yoku. And both ended up being roughly as fast as each other.
While there are a range of possible feats and numbers to go with to determine their limits, the point is they're always going to be close to even.
Which means the main thing that mattered here were their powers and how they countered each other. Madara's enormous variety of abilities eventually overwhelmed Aizen.
It's
While
true,
so
Naruto
weakness
has
like
way
Aizen
too much
may
stuff
be
going
invisible
on.
to regular people, the Rinnegan allowed Madara to see invisible spiritual beings like his own Limbo clones. Hell, the Rinnegan lets you see and remove human souls, and that's exactly what a Soul Reaper is.
Both chakra and rare Yoku utilize spirit energy
They're the
and
same.
operated in similar ways, being formed into attacks like ninjutsu and kido. That meant that Madara's ability to absorb ninjutsu allowed him to nullify the vast majority of Aizen's range attacks and even dispel his force fields.
And despite how OP Aizen's complete hypnosis was, Sharingan users can break out of illusions no sweat, even ones as powerful as Itachi's Tsukuyomi. And since Madara can switch between the Rinnegan and the Sharingan at will, he'd be able to break out of an illusion anytime he wanted.
Aizen's illusions are nearly perfect, but fellow Captain Unohana was able to subconsciously notice its flaws. With an eye as perceptive as the Sharingan, which can spot imperfections in genjutsus all the time, it was only inevitable that Madara would
There
be
you
able
go.
to
So at least the
keep
fight
himself
happens.
However, the same couldn't be said for Aizen, who never showed any resistance to the kind of mental illusions Madara can create.
Even setting illusions aside, the sheer quantity of offensive options at Madara's disposal, whether it be his clones, meteors, or monsters summoned by the Rinnegan, kept Aizen constantly on the back foot.
But none of that mattered if they couldn't kill each other, and both had pretty insane healing factors that could recover from just about anything, except for those pesky 8 balls of doom.
Madara's truth-seeking orbs were capable of completely molecularly annihilating spiritual beings and preventing them from regenerating. And again, Aizen
Just
was a
having the
spiritual
instant
being.
I win
And
button is
Aizen
probably a
lacked the
good way to
ability
win.
do the same irreversible damage to Madara, the ghost of the Uchiha had exactly what he needed to put this actual ghost down for good.
Aizen was an unbelievably overpowered foe, but Madara's own powers, illusions, and devastating truth-seeking orbs allowed him to crush the ex-Shinigami.
Sosuke should have kept his eyes on the prize. And
I still think Aizen's a better character, though.
shame at all.
You can be totally fair in that.
Double punch,
I have no
second
problem
hit.
giving you that, because I have
winner
no
is
idea.
Madara Uchiha.
Oh, there we go. I
Thank you for
correctly
watching this
flipped the
episode
coin
of
and
Death
guessed the
Battle. If you're looking to
correct
get some merch
god.
for the holidays, we've got a bunch of
Eh.
great new items from Death Battle and
Indeed,
From hoodies to t-shirts
indeed.
to socks to beer steins. Click that box,
Whenever
start
they just get
shopping
out of the scale, there's nothing to do. One Punch Man. Speaking of gods,
I mean, we've already seen this one.
we've already seen that one, but man, this whole season of Death Battle has been like very overpowered god heavy, hasn't it?
I mean, that's the point.
That's the point, but also it becomes a lot harder to guess what's gonna happen. But I still had fun, and well, I hope you did too.
Yeah, I mean, it's good seeing people I haven't seen before in a long time. I mean,
Yeah. Maybe I should go back and watch some Naruto and figure out what the hell is happening.
well, I just mean it's been a long time since Bleach, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, it's been a long time since Bleach.
Truer words. All right. Well, I've been Griffin, that's Slade, and this has been Stone-Faced Reactions. We'll catch you next time, everybody. See ya. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?